Hello! Welcome to day 2 of our snow day demos, is what we're gonna call this. I was just running around my place looking for cardstock because apparently I don't have any. I can't find any. And today we're gonna be doing some collage work, which is very fun. But of course you need something to stick it on. And I had none. So I settled for a sketchbook I have that has some mixed media paper in it, and we'll just use that. Yes, this is exciting because normally we actually don't have art demonstrations on Thursdays. Normally we have a writer's circle on Thursdays, so this is a very nice treat. Hello Raven, hello James, nice to see you. I like that I did one in each hand. Let me know also if everything is good with like volume and image quality, because I have my phone plugged in this time because I was losing life yesterday. But today I don't feel like we'll be I don't think we'll be as long as yesterday. Yesterday we had a good 2 hours. Today no. We got a quick one. Quick Marissa speed is like probably an hour. I don't know. Live streams are here for us to just kind of like hang out, me talk at the camera, and it is live, so I can see, you know, if you folks comment down there. I see hello Ursa and Raven, y'all are watching from the tablet. That's exciting. Hi, welcome to my living room. And hi James too, nice to see you too. But yeah, if y'all wanna like chat in the comments with each other, if you wanna talk and shout anything out to myself, I'll always be trying to watch along and do that. But yesterday, if you weren't with us, we did a very, very stunning felt patch. This is what our finished product was yesterday. Well, it's not actually finished. As you can see, my thread is still attached to it. I absolutely stopped working on it as soon as I shut off the camera because you can only spend so much time with a felted Shrek. Yeah, but we have some nice sequins on the face. We have sequins on his little ear things. And yeah, I still need to put and fix this, but maybe it could be like a little pouch because there's still a hole in the top. Shrek purse, love that. Hi Kevin, nice to see you. Yeah, so today I was thinking what I could demonstrate for you guys. And I like collage. I have been doing collage work for quite some time, actually. Not too much recently, much less actually than I would have wanted to do. So today's gonna be the day that I get back in it with you all. And I actually saw this idea for this type of collage work. We're gonna try it out. I've never tried it before, so hopefully it works. And if it doesn't, that's what we do on live streams, is we try things out and we get to laugh together. Hello Megan, nice to see ya. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's snowy still. I hope you all are staying safe. If you made a snowman, awesome. Go comment below. That's cool too. And yeah, let's get into it. If you are wanting to follow along, I do have just a few materials. Mostly just like some type of newspaper or photo. I love National Geographics, so that is normally what I use for all of my collage work. I have like this weird obsession with only wanting to use ones that have this like very pretty border around the front of them. And that is normally National Geographics that are like 1960s era. I just like the kind of like image quality you get. I find that they're like very matte. They're not as like glossy as normal magazine pictures, which I really like, and I've kind of like had that line along my work is that I always use like the matte kind. However, The issue is that I recently started doing this form of printmaking using like a gelatin plate, or it's not real gelatin I'm using like a jelly plate, but it only requires, like, you can only use glossy magazines. So my issue is that all my magazines in my place are like a matte finish because of the way I use collaging. But these are my pride and joy, because I will go to like Salvation Army or other thrift stores and like look specifically for these, and there's just such great illustrations. Like, look at those little bears. Oh, Ursa, I should do a bear because haha, you're watching. I'm gonna cut these out. So yeah, you'll need some magazines. I would say other materials you'll need a cutting utensil, preferably for this type of workshop. I'm gonna be using a knife. I do actually prefer using knives to do my collaging. I just find I get like a nice closer cut. But you could use whatever you want. Today, actually, what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm going to try and get my background image to kind of be like a paper weave technique. We'll see if it works. It could be really cool if it does. But I have my knife. I also have a glue stick, and actually, shout out to local places. This glue stick I thought was so cool because of the shape, first off. And it's stain free, so also good. If you like glue too much, you're not gonna stain your paper, which is nice. And I got this actually from Seduta, which is right around the corner from Artbeat in the Exchange. So go check them out if you can. They have really awesome selection of art supplies, and they're awesome people too. So go check them out. But yeah, I have those two: knife, glue stick, cardstock if you have. I don't, so I'm using other paper, and a cutting surface. Very good reference, Clint. I like that. Yeah, a cutting surface. So if you're cutting with a knife, you don't want to be cutting on your table directly. That'll damage it, and you don't want cuts in that. So, gonna flip you guys around. You know the drill. Flip you around so you can see my surface that I am working on. And hopefully we can get a good angle here. There we go. Do we have my cold coffee in view? Almost. So this is my surface we have. And I'm just going to try and not have everything. Let's see, look, little paper Shrek is still here. He can be off on the side too. But yeah, so I have this cutting surface here. And this is what I'm going to be using. Like, I'm going to obviously be cutting on it and such. But what we want to find first in this is finding some image, and this is my favorite part of making collages, is getting to do like that image mining, because you get to find such good pictures. And also just look at how lovely these old magazines are. I feel like I actually found a picture I want to use right away. These are very beautiful beach photos. Yeah, they're awesome. I kind of really like, this is also the issue of looking for images in magazines while you're collaging, is that like, for this project, I'm going to have to use the whole image. And I really like, just like this part, like I want to use this for something else later. That also is the issue with analog collage, is that, you know, you get one shot. If you don't like the photo you picked, or you cut it wrong or something, you can't use it again. So analog collage has that wondrous thing about it, that if you accidentally cut off the head of the person you're trying to cut out, you can't, I mean, you could glue it back on, I guess, but no, one shot only. Hello, Win, nice to see you. This is also really cool. I feel like actually this image would be hard to use in a regular collage, so, you know, I might actually use this. So I'm going to get my knife out, and fun fact, I am much better at cutting with a knife than cutting with scissors. I have a very hard time cutting with scissors, actually. And I think that's just because I have so much practice cutting with a knife. But the trick is to just pull back with your arm and use that. So I have this image. There we are. Yeah, because I think it's cool. It's like, it's, the camera's a little bit close, but I think you get the idea. Oh, much better, yeah, actually. It's just like this image of, I guess, these balconies of an apartment block. Super, super cool. And for what I'm doing, I think this might work really well. The only issue is that it's very long, so I might have to cut it somewhere, but we'll see that after. But now I will need to find another image with similar dimensions. Or if not similar dimensions, to chop up this one. But I wonder if we go back to those beach photos, that would be great. But also again, oh, sorry, I moved y'all. Also, want to find something that kind of looks nice with this. Like, this is like very gray, so maybe we need something bright and blue. Again, the beach photo, bright and blue. And you can tell here, yeah, it like doesn't obviously fit exactly the same. Like there's this little bit of extra, but we can cut that off. Also, we only have to do it like this length. It is such an awkward length for something. Like normally when I do collages, I like to have the idea of framing them in mind, but I'm gonna cut this just because I know I am gonna use it. And I'll normally cut in right in the book and try to use a bit of a lighter pressure, so I'm not cutting all the way through and I can still kind of like pull it off afterwards. But then like the page underneath is still intact. Wouldn't it be funny if it wasn't and I just yanked it out? Okay, so these are my two images so far. I'm gonna keep flipping. Maybe I'll find like one other choice. Really do like this bear. This is, I think, is gonna be like a feature in one of them. Most definitely, it's quite cool. See, the images in this magazine are just phenomenal. This boat one's great. Actually, this boat one, it's really busy, but it has a lot of orange, which actually might go nice with this. But there's a lot of black too. I mean, I could flip them. Also, look at, so this is like on a boat, right? Like this picture's on a boat. But what is little Miss Person over here doing with a baby in a crib on a boat deck? Some of these photos, you know? It's crazy. A black and white one also might be interesting to use too. It's one that has a lot of really bright color. And this is all kind of nice too that I'm working through the same magazine because you're getting like the similar, oh, that's fun. That's actually great. I think I might use that too. Oh, there's so many good ones in here. Yeah, you're getting it from the same magazine, so but all these magazines are always like in themes. I'm gonna use a candle to hold that paper down. But yeah, a lot of these magazines have their work, like obviously there's a theme to it because you're wanting it to tell a story. So a lot of this one looks like it has like boats and water, which is always cool. And buildings, which like obviously buildings are awesome. But the other thing I'm looking for, because I'm wanting to make a nice background, I'm also looking for something I can put in the front, like in the foreground. Whoa. This is fun. I think that these two leapfrog people are definitely gonna be in the foreground. That is the front runner. This is also, just these images are really beautiful in this one. Have I not flipped through this magazine yet? There's not too much cutouts, which is nice. Well, I did, obviously. I used a very heavy hand to cut that. Beautiful, cool. That's crazy. Oh, this is beautiful as well. Like the colors are really nice. The colors actually of this might go good with these two. Or they might blend in too much. I don't know. Oh my gosh, beautiful too. See, again, the most fun is looking through all these images and seeing what the potential could be for collaging. And that's like the whole thing about image mining. You can just like cut out magazine clippings and like store them off to the side so you'll have them for a while. But oh, that's beautiful as well. Also could be nice if it's just like a square. Is there another? I could do these two that are like flowers. There's not much image in there though. Oh, but that one's nice. And you always, before you cut, make sure you look on the image in the back. so you don't accidentally cut one that you like more. I do like this one though. So where's my trusty candle to hold that paper down? And cut a little bit of the white out, but it's okay because I'm gonna crop this after. I didn't mention in like the supply list of things I have, but I also have a metal ruler beside me. Oops. I do like those too, just for the sake of like if I want to cut things cleaner or like cut off the white part that I cut, I have this here. And then it's nice too because you're not going to chop your ruler accidentally. And then you don't make straight lines anymore with a cut ruler. It's really the worst. Oh my goodness, these colors in this are so nice. This green's nice too. I could do like a nice green and blue. Or this could be fun like to contrast the two because there's like super city balconies and then like a really nice house in like in the valley. The valley, that's a nice one. The hardest part of collaging is like stopping yourself from wanting to use up all the images. How are they in a cave and she is ice skating? Riddle me that. This guy's got a big rock. Very nice. That's pretty as well. What else do we have here? Oh boy, a snake and a mongoose. This is also the worst too because like you never want like a very, you know, suggestive photo popping up, like one that's like a little bit, should have a little bit of censorship flipping through. That always happens with National Geographic if they're doing stuff on like, I don't know, human rights issues and stuff. You don't want to stumble upon that accidentally. Ooh, this one's pretty. Where is this? Himalayans. Cool. Oh gosh, look at him driving in there. This is actually quite nice. I like the colors of this. And do we think, that one's a little busy. Do we think it'll go, it's similar shape almost to this. So maybe I'm gonna do this because like the people are the same scale too, almost. Like these people here are similar scale to this. So I might cut out this one and use it with this image because I feel like they're almost like kind of similar where you have like the sky and a mountain in the background, sky and mountains in the background to scale people, and then like some bit of land here. So this is the one I think. We're gonna use that picture. And then just sorry for this. I like this like building situation going on, but I do have it there and I like this image better at the moment. So we're gonna cut that one out. Try and get it as close to that white seam as we can. I may have to break a blade soon. Nope, not yet. So I'll rotate my picture instead of like rotating myself to cut it. One, because I am filming and it would be difficult to rotate and still get a good angle, but also two, because then I'm getting like a straight line. So now that we have that, I'm gonna put this magazine just off to the side and push this a little further up. I don't know if it's bugging anybody else that my cutting mat's upside down, so I'll fix it for those who are watching. I want to cut this little white line off there, so that's where we're gonna bring my ruler. And it does have like a cork bottom to it, so it doesn't like slide around and it grips nice. However, this does cut closer. You just have to be very careful that you're not moving your board after. And also, of course, always watch your thumbs. You don't want to cut yourself. Oh, a little bit of white left. It should be fine. So we have one image here. I'm gonna cut this white off here, and then we're gonna have to see if they are the same size, because that is important for this exercise, to have the same sized image. And I don't think they are the same size, so we're gonna have to chop one down, which is why I brought the ruler. Okay. Yeah, they're not the same size, so we're either going to have to get rid of a little bit of the sky or a little bit of the ground. I mean, ideally, I kind of want to have a little bit of both gotten rid of, but I don't want to cut twice, so, or you know what, I might just cut twice because I don't want too much of the ground gone, but the sky's also really nice. I don't even know if these are even yet. I do have these little lines on here to make it even-ish. Lining it up, holding it down. I put my ruler too far away. We have it back, it's okay. So I'm gonna actually line it up rather than the top of this. I'm lining it up with this line here on my cutting mat and that one. So I can try and get it more of a square. Great. And now gotta flip it around to the other side so we can make sure that our image is again the same size. And if not, like always we can cut it after the fact, but I think having them similar size and shape is going to help for this exercise. So I know that those are two lined up ones, so the thing is, now that that is even and lined up, we'll have to rotate it to make sure that it's going to be a square image. And that is the issue with having two. We'll line that up along the bottom and then put this one on the bottom without moving that one too much. This is where it's good if you have like one of those large paper cutters like we have at Studio Central. As you can clearly see, I don't have one of those at home, but it would make this exercise a lot easier. Oh. So now I'm just like making sure we have a square picture. That side square, that side square, and now we can cut off that bigger bit at the end. Just trying to make it like as square as we can. It really isn't going to be perfect, and that's fine. Art doesn't really have to be, but if it makes you happy to make it as pristine and perfect as you can, then do that. Because clearly that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so again, I'm gonna line up my, as I move this, I'm gonna line up my ruler to this little line down here, and this little line up here, and then cut that off again. Beautiful. Okay, we have mostly the same size now. Great, now is the fun part, and hopefully the part that does work. So I want these two images to be woven together. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to take a fresh blade, so I'm going to snap this one. Don't know why my screen just went a little darker, but hopefully everything's still good. I'm going to snap this blade so I can make sure that all my cuts are going to be really clean and not going to pull or tear. That was a lot louder than I expected, but I am okay. So my way of breaking blades is there's like, this side's perforated so it'll bend a little bit. This side is not perforated. So I'll roll, I don't know if you can see this. Yes, it was a big snap. You can see in like a little bit of the lines, there we go. There's like lines that go along the blade there. And I would just roll out my blade to the freshest part, to the closest line, and then make sure it's like tight there. And then I'll like have it here, and always if you are gonna snap the blade, like you're gonna use this part right there to push and snap it, but always cover it with like a palm of your hand or like a book or something so that doesn't go flying up at you, because that's dangerous and please don't do that. Knife safety. Also, I have put the blade right there, just off on this little, oh no, it's not a cup holder. What are those called? Coaster. I put my blade on a little coaster. And then after that, I'm going to take some masking tape and like make a little bed of masking tape, put the blade there, fold it in. That way, all the sharp corners are like protected and it's not going to pierce through any garbage bags or such when I do throw it out. That's the way to do it. Or if you have like a plastic bottle, to just put a collection of them in that and then put that in your garbage because they're not recyclable. But then you're also protecting yourself when you take out your garbage and then others too. Okay, that's enough taco knife safety. So with these two, this is where it's going to get wild. We are going to cut up this image. So this is going to be a background. We're going to weave this together with this one. So ideally, I'm going to start cutting this one, I think, vertically. And then this one's going to be cut horizontally. And then after, I'm going to put my papers together. I'm going to want to make sure as best I can, because I'm going to like cut it like kind of like along as I go. Best I can to keep it in the same order it's in. So like the two images will stay together. But here we go. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of like make it like, you could just cut straight lines. That'll be easy. And it'll probably work better. But I don't want to be easy. I want to try it difficult. So I'm actually going to go to town and actually just like wavy cut this. And that's why I snapped a fresh blade. So again, we're going to want to make sure that our blade is nice and sharp. And I'm just kind of cutting it in this wave pattern. And that's going to go across there. Ooh, this might be crazy. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Like little like crinkle cut French fries. Whee! Or bacon strips. That's cool too. So yeah, as every time I cut it off, I just move it along. So I can make sure that it stays in the right order when I'm going to put it back together. I feel like a fancy paper shredder. Also, this just looks cool already with the with the bits. Maybe I'll try to make it more straight at the bottom. So you don't want to push too hard that you're dulling your blade right away. That one is very straight. Yeah, don't want to dull your blade, but you're also wanting to keep the pressure consistent so you get one good clean cut. I don't know. This is the first time, like I said, I'm trying this, so I don't know if I have to have like an even number or an odd number. How many do I have right now? Shoot, I have an even number now. Maybe I'll do an odd. Yeah, this one's really big. I'll do an odd number. Ooh. Oh, don't crinkle. Okay, perfect. So we have this shape, piece, picture, all cut out and spread out. And we're going to do the same to this one, but rather than cutting it that way, we're going to cut it this way, and then we're going to weave them together after. I'm just keeping note that I did cut 11 pieces here. Let me triple check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pieces. So I'm going to move these off, just off camera, right at the top here. I'm going to also move those magazines that I have, so they're out of the way. My table is very messy, but that's okay. So yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'll move this up a little bit so you can see. I'm just gonna move all of these here, so they stay roughly. Oh, do you see my finger wiggle every time I move it? Whee! But they're gonna stay roughly in the same order, and I'm gonna keep them spaced out just so like they don't get messed up. They're up there. that was really off camera, but they're up there, you can see. Now I'm going to cut this one, but we're gonna cut it vertically, and I'm gonna also try to get the same number of pieces. I feel like I really should have looked up paper weaving prior to doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna do 11 again, and hopefully it turns out. But again, we're doing it vertically because this is going to connect at the bottom. So we've got the 1, 2, 3. Oof, we're gonna start having to make these smaller. They might not have to be the same. I don't know, I might just be messing up. I don't know. So it's 3, 4, 5. Oof. 6. Oh, didn't cut it off. 7. 8. 11. 10, 11, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nice. Woohoo, okay. Now comes the great fun part where we're going to try and combine these two. So this one, like we know it is gonna be vertical. So whoop, let's verticalize those pieces. That's not a real word. Let's make those pieces vertical. Move those ones off there. And I think I'll just move these pieces down here just so they can be in view better. I know they're in view up there. Oh, I almost messed up the order. It's okay. Did not. Ooh. Should I have tried this exercise off camera first? Yes. But this one's much more fun if we do it together and try. Move these guys over here. Beautiful. Okay. I feel like let's put a piece of white paper down, just so you can kind of like see better, and it's not contrasting with the table. And I'll give you a nice paper rip. Ooh, that sounded fun. So this is gonna be down here. It's gonna be a square, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I think a good tip would be to just use this glue stick and glue down the first 2 corners. I'm going to put it on the back of the paper so I can like glue on this, and then I'll actually adhere it to the front of the paper following. But we'll take our bottom corner and our left corner and try and make a right corner. It might wobble a bunch. That's okay. Wow, you know what would be smart is if I did this on something that has angles. Oh, this has squares. Perfect. So line that up nicely in here. And just put some glue. It's quite a liberal amount. And then glue this so it is like that moderately accurate angle, just to start us off. Good. Ooh, and then we'll move it onto the paper. Nice, there we go. And now you can really see how we are going to work this. Now that I have that, the next step is to start layering in those colors. So let's go with adding a bit of glue there, and the next paper. And I'll try and make it as even as we can, even as it goes along here. So you can see this gap. We'll try and get rid of that gap. But this is, again, an exercise. Never done this type of collage work before, so this will be kind of like a fun way to try something new. But we're weaving. So let's get this next one from the vertical side and tuck that one in. So we're already getting like a really cool checkerboard almost there. So once I have this lined up as best I can to that line up top and down here with no bubbles, I'll lift up this bottom piece and glue. There may be some little like bits that stick out at the bottom here, and if that's the case, we'll just fix that later. But now that I have that one too, I'll lift this one up and glue that part down so it stays nice. Lovely. Let's get one of the black ones on, I guess, now. And we'll keep kind of peeling this and moving it along just because we are gluing it on here. I really should have used just like a scrap piece of paper versus the ones, this one I'm actually going to use after, but I'll flip it so it's okay. But we're going to keep moving around just so it doesn't get stuck in that spot. Of course, you could use this on the regular paper you are going to like have your finished piece with, but yeah, you want to keep it going. So my technique I'm using is just add on one of the horizontals, do a vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical as we go. So now that I've added that piece in, and I'm happy with where it goes, I'll move my hair off the paper and I will put a little piece of glue. I'm actually going to just glue it off here. It's going to be tricky to keep lifting that one up, and I don't want it to be too mangled at the end of this. Okay. Glue that spot. Oh, goodbye glue. And then glue up here where this one is. There we go. So if you are just tuning in, we're doing a collage technique like the title says. And I took 2 magazine clippings that were the same size, or roughly the same size, and then I made them the same size following. And now and then I cut them in like this loopy shape. And now we're weaving them together as this paper, or in the paper, I guess. So we're building it as we go, and it's creating like this really cool like wavy checkerboard pattern down here. And we're really gonna see how it turns out in the end. It might just be a nice pattern, or if it looks good enough that we do want it to become like a picture. I have these 2 kids doing like a leapfrog thing that I can cut out delicately after and put them right in the middle. I think that would be cool. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at, is just lining it up and gluing. Very little relaxing technique now. Line that up nicely. And I'm trying my best not to have these like white lines in between, but that might be bound to happen. So it's okay. All right, now let's add in that black paper, and it's gonna go over top here and over top here. So we're just gonna add a little bit of glue there and there. It's very soothing to like weave something, especially like not a textile, because I feel like, I mean, even with weaving textiles, you have to be very delicate and things just like fit into itself. which is pretty cool that you can do it with paper. Yeah, you don't want to like do too much folding or anything here like you would in like say origami, which is also very soothing, but yeah. So now it's a little bit sticky there, so I'm going to lift it up and just move it to another spot on the page, just again so it doesn't keep getting stuck. See if I can move this down a little bit, because I don't think we need it to be as wide up on the camera there. Look at the back of that. That could even be its own piece. Cool. All right. We are on the vertical again. So with this one's going to be open, over, over. So I'm just gluing the over pieces ahead of time. And then I'll lift up and I'll glue the other ones after. So, under. I guess I could have tried to plan with the photos if there's like elements I wanted to pop up, like this person walking. Wanted to make sure that that was shown. Good thing it is shown with how I'm putting this in, but I didn't plan it that way. I hope the people show up. We'll see. We'll see how they turn out. So I will just lift up this again. This one. So I find with this weaving technique, it is easy to work from one corner all the way to the end, versus doing all vertical and all horizontal. I just find it works a little bit easier. Yeah, so these two now are gonna have the overlap. Oh, that's a lot of glue, whoops. And then again, because this is that loose spot at the end, I don't want it to keep lifting up. So I'm gonna glue this bottom part down before I move it in here. I put quite a lot of glue there, so I hope it doesn't. I hope it's true and doesn't actually stain, as the front of my glue says. I mean, I did just get the glue because the bottle was cool. It's like a cool red. I like it. Yeah, it is a happy little person just hanging out there. I like it. There you go. And again, make sure it's not sticking where you're gluing, so just lift it up and keep moving it around. We have the vertical piece now to go in. So if we look, that's going to be covered, that one and that one. So we'll do a little dab of glue. And of course, we're going to glue the whole thing down to the bottom afterwards. So don't worry if like you're not covering the entire spot with glue now, because that's going to be worked on later. So we'll feed it through the back here. Gently, because it looks like I talked too much and that glue got a little sticky. Oh, that tree fits so nicely up there. I hope these spaces work out okay, like that big white space there, but we'll see at the end. I'm totally enjoying how this is coming out though so far. It's a new technique for me. I just saw it today actually while I was scrolling on Instagram. Another artist just was posting it. I don't know the name of the artist, it just like popped up on my feed, but it was super cool. I love the checkerboard pattern that's going on. What are we doing next? We have 5 there, 5 there. Oh, we're just gonna go to the horizontal pieces. We have some more people up on the horizontal pieces, so it'll be cool to see if they appear. So we just don't have one lone little guy there. So with this, a little bit of glue at the top, glue on this wide piece here, and then glue down here. Oh, my glue. Oh, my glue. There you go. And we're going to move this in. Oh, goodbye, little feet. That is going to be tucked behind. So always try and get it in from the top. Pull that down. I do like this like cool like white and gray pattern though that this one picture is giving us. I don't know if it's like rocks or like lichen or something, but it's pretty cool. Oh, yes, I love pronouncing lichen as lichen, not lichen or lichen. It's lichen. I liken it. Okay. No more of that. Can't tell if that's like a, oh, it is a hole. Shoot. I'm gonna pull this down a little bit more. It might be too glued. No, don't be too glued. Oh, good. Just a tad. I heard a little rip. Always gotta be careful. Especially working with old magazine paper. I think I waited too long for the glue to set. So it's a little tricky, but I have like these like holes that I kind of want to cover. That's better. Okay, that's better. And then I'll just glue this spot down to kind of secure it more on the little feet. And it's not art piece by Marissa if there isn't hair on it, so move that out of the way. And also, I don't know if you can see, there's like little sequins that keep popping up on camera from yesterday's workshop. All right, so we have that. Let's add that next vertical piece. I don't like how like bumpy that is, but hopefully that fixes itself later. Here. Oops. So I'm always just gluing ahead of time on those spots where I know that the magazine is going to go under. Slide on it. Ah! Did it the wrong way. No! I was like, that was too easy of one, and it went right where it wanted it to go the first try. That's better. Now it's sticky. I mean, ideally, I guess I could try and fit it where it's supposed to go first, and then take it out, and then glue it. But that just seems like it'll take too long. It is working out fine now. So just lifting up the spots. I'm gonna probably have to trim this one down because you can see at the top it's not even matching at the top there, so I'm gonna have to trim this after. But I'll probably do that once it's completely dry, just so there's no like shifting as I trim it, because that would be quite awful. All my hard work, and it just is hard to cut down. Okay. Oh, good news. We're gonna get this little person. We have a second person coming to our collage here because they're gonna pop up right there in the sky. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. Because we lost their feet in the last, oops, I just glued the whole one of that. But yeah, we lost their feet when I tucked the last paper in. No feet missing here. Get in. Sometimes it helps if you like coax your collage pieces gently with your words to get where you want them to go. Yes, humans. I feel the same, James, being away from everybody here at home. It's just weird. It's weird again that the world is having its little quiet moment. So if the only humans I have my interacting with today are the ones on this collage, well, also the ones that are watching. Hi, thanks for watching here. But yeah, little human added to the collage. There they are! Perfect. We love humans. Okay, so those ones that I glued down already are good, so I'm just gonna lift up this little piece of glue and this one, little glue. Oh, there's even more legs. Nice. That's great. And our next piece, that is gonna go there, 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 and there. Oops, don't put it upside down. I guess that could be a really cool one that's like flipped it. Whoa, that'll be next time. I'll have the sky. I'll have to find like contrasting images that are contrasting enough that like the sky or something would be reversed when I cut them. That would be a cool paper weave. Okay. This is where it's also going to get tricky because it's a lot more pieces than just like a few. I may actually have to glue later. I might do that. This piece was, oh gosh, so tricky to get in. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely glue after fitting it in next time. Because we don't want to accidentally rip it yet. Whew. Yeah, and that didn't even go in straight. Not straight at all. Now it's sticky. There's a lot of holes in this one. It kind of looks like a little weaved picnic blanket. I like how that shot was just probably my hands attacking the art piece that I'm working on, trying to save it. Okay, definitely next bits of paper we're adding on, I am sticking it in first and then gluing. It's a learning experience, folks. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And also, I mean, there's white on those rocks, so like the white specks there are fine. They're not going to bother me too much. Okay, like we said, we're going to put this one in first and then glue it because it's getting a little tricky. Oh, little lady's going to be disappeared, I think. Yeah, little lady's gone. Bye. Are these people? Oh, we have one human. Hi. Coming through. There, look at that. Another person floating in the tree. Nice. Okay, so now we're gonna do the little lift and glue moment here. So I think now that it's in, I'll hold this down and then just like lift and glue as I go along the line. And then we'll flip it and glue it down that way too. Here we go, and then we'll flip. Ooh, this is cool in itself too. Look at that one. And then we'll just glue the spots that don't have glue yet. But of course, be mildly gentle. Mildly, moderately. Be gentle. Oh, she's getting stuck. Let's move this over here. Okay. Put this one in. Oh, now it's gonna start being a little lumpy with any spots that didn't line up just right. So this is, I think, where it's starting to get tricky. Don't want to force it too much, but I think that should be good. So you want to kind of like have it make those tightish corners. So if it's tight down here, it's loose there. Oh, nope, we got it. Okay, hold that. And then I'll just glue a little anchor point in here. Oh, my hands are everywhere on this piece. I'm so sorry if it's bad for viewing. Woohoo, that's a big gap. I wonder if we can fix that at all. Oh, might be glued. We've got a big old gap there. How did that happen? Try and pull that down a little bit. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Nope, still a really big gap. This is bound to happen at the end. It's okay. If it gets too big, we can always chop it at a spot. So we'll glue this bit down. Try and pull this down again too, just because it has this like weird bump going on up here. Don't know really how good that'll help, but it's getting there. All right, and now this is where it's gonna really start coming together because we're gonna get like the skies blending, and I think that'll look really great. Oop, and I got some glue right at the top there. Like those blues look awesome together. Yeah, that's really cool. And a little anchor point. And another one, make sure it doesn't move too much. And of course we flip it. You get the gist. I don't need to narrate what I'm doing anymore. It's getting a lot faster at it too. Oh, except for when it gets stuck. So this is like the images are kind of similar at this bottom point, but now that I'm getting that top in, you can really see the contrasting. I guess just because we have like dirt mixing on dirt for the image picture. The image picture. But yeah, I think you can really start to see the difference. And I think doing this again would be cool if I did like a black and white image with a colored image, like a really vibrant one, or really contrasting or complementing colors. I think would be a cool way to continue. But like I said, this is my first time trying out this sort of collaging technique. If you're watching and you feel inclined, please try one yourself, just so I can kind of see, like, I don't know, see how you translated it into your own work, or if you were inspired by it and you did something a little bit different. That'd be super cool to see. This is a weird corner right there that I'm getting a little bit of bump. I'm gonna glue it down right away. Ooh. If there's a little bit of glue everywhere and you put your hand down in one spot, your whole piece is coming with you. As well as the glue's flying out of your hand. Oh God. Okay. Oh, a sequin. Goodbye, sequin. It's not sequin workshop today. That was yesterday. No sequins here, except for the ones that accidentally get in the shot. Might need to put another piece of glue on that last one. Like right here, I think it needs a little extra glue, but no, it's fine. This one. Oh my gosh, we only have one more left for the top. I hope it turns out lovely. And if it doesn't, it's still going in my art portfolio as like progress work. Something I learned from the lovely artist Kate Kaplan, shout out to you. She taught a workshop at Studio Central recently, and I mean, I love her work. Also, she's just lovely as a person too, and she is a good part of Artbeat, helps out a lot and volunteers so much. But she is so talented and such a talented painter, and she was telling me how when she started, she actually didn't start in painting. She started in drawing and pastel work. Maybe I might be wrong with what exactly she started in, but kind of that idea. And then she went to like workshops at Studio Central and met other artists and improved her talents there. And then one thing she said that I stuck with me is that any piece of work she did, even if it was like, we're gonna put quotations, but bad. I don't believe in bad work. It's just progress work. And this is really what she was talking about, where she said even if a piece she didn't like how it turned out or it's not the way she wanted it, she would still take a picture of it and keep it in her records as like her progress in her portfolio. And I think that's really important, and that really stuck with me because I've always said time and time again when I'm teaching workshops or when I'm at Studio Centrals, I always say like, oh, I can't paint, and acrylic painting is really difficult for me. I don't like doing it, and I always say that. But all it takes is practice and taking note of those acrylic pieces, because over time, the ones that I do happen to paint at, like in workshops and stuff, over time I'm gonna see improvement, and I wanna be able to pinpoint where that improvement started, and because everything changes degree by degree, and that's how we get better at things or form habits or something of that sort. So doing that with acrylic painting and my learning how to paint is really awesome. So with this piece, if it doesn't turn out how I want it to look or how I expected it to look, or it just looks bumpy and silly, I'm still going to keep it because it's a new technique I tried out. And new technique, and exactly, it takes practice, Clint. Except for this one that is too bumpy. This little corner is giving me so much trouble. I might try and cut a little spot of it if I can, just because it's not like wedging itself in there. And I guess this is the tricky part of weaving, especially if they're not like perfect lines, is they're gonna start getting wonky and not staying in. And I think that's definitely what's happening here. I wonder if I can just cut this a tad. Where did my mat go? There it is. I'm just gonna try cutting this corner out so like they'll not get caught on each other as much. So I think that's the issue I'm having, is that those two pieces get caught. Let's see if that helped. Over, under, over please, under, over, please go under, Please go under. I mean, I think that helped a bit. Definitely will flatten itself now, as before it wasn't even like pushing itself in, it was getting really caught, so I think that helped. Oops. Now let's glue it down because this one keeps moving around a lot. Yeah, this one's a tricky one to get in, and maybe again it's just because it's the last ones, so they're not going to be completely even. That's okay. It's more of a weave pattern now, but again, it's the first one I did. I'm gonna keep it as a piece to remind myself I tried something different. Yeah, I think it's like the corners are having a hard time getting tight. Right. Anchor this one down here. Normally I don't like gluing on my cutting mat, but this piece is giving me so much trouble. I just want to get it in, and then we'll flip it and glue the other side down. It's a feisty one, this one. Okay, now I can flip it. Ooh, such a fragile piece. It looks cool though. Like, look at that pattern in that sky. You can totally still see like this really prominent ground. The gray one is a little bit harder to see, I think, just because the image did like go up so high. Yeah, I think that one's trickier. Oof, this one's really gonna be above it. It's not gonna go all the way through, which again, it's fine. Like, I'll be cropping this anyway. Yeah, like there's such a big jump. Yeah, I'll have to cut the top off a bit. A little off the top, like a haircut. Maybe a lot off the top in some instances, I don't know. I want to be careful not to bend it too much. This is another instance where it's like too long. Just gonna go very, very light so I'm not cutting into my table at all, but I just want to get that corner out. So in, out, in. Oh, got it. Yeah, so as you can see, that was completely off camera, but as you can see, it like, there's that bump in between. There's like a little bit, like half a centimeter almost, or a full centimeter that it doesn't go up to, and that's okay because I feel like through a little gaps here and there, that's bound to happen, which is fine. Like I'm gonna have to cut it anyway at the top, but again, I'm gonna do that once it's completely dried. That way things don't get sticky and I don't accidentally move it around where I don't want it to move around, like that, where it just jumped out. Here. And then we want that one to come out. Perfect. But it is cool how the waves like kind of still work with it. So try not to have that spot bend too much because we do want to make sure we can get like that top layer in. we go, and we're gonna have to flip it and squish that spot down real quick because it is bumping up. But yeah, I think next time I do this technique, because I will do this next time. I did enjoy how it turned out. This was a new technique for me, but I really feel like I could evolve this into my own style. So yeah, I think I might, well, I have one more piece prior, but I have like this cool thing that I worked out. You definitely can see one image more prominent than the other, which is good to know. Don't know if that's just because of the two I picked, or that naturally like happens kind of in like this little optical illusion. But that's like good to know if I'm going to do this again with like intent to have it as like a background. And yeah, I'll need to do some cropping on this one too. Maybe I might actually pull this one up a little bit just because there's this big issue here. I don't know where it started happening that these didn't line up, but I might just like crop this whole spot off altogether. Oh, those two really want to be friends. Okay. There we go. The last one is always the hardest. Yeah, I think actually if I lift it up a bit, it'll fit nicer. So we're gonna do that, and then we're just gonna completely crop it following. But let's anchor that one down too. Oops. Have that spot lifted up a little bit. That's okay. Just and then we'll flip this over to this corner that doesn't really have that much glue in it, and we'll try and get it adjusted and flat as we can here. I might need to check on this spot. Okay. Glue this one. This is definitely something that, like, if I were to record this and post this not on a live stream, we'd be, like, doing that, like, time lap. Like, the fast forward motion, just make it done faster. Because you will definitely get it much more finished in a nice, reasonable time. That's not glued down. So, with that, though, we have successfully weaved this paper. So you can see now that the two images are one. The background also looks really cool. It wasn't like an image I was expecting. Perhaps that could be another way I like evolve this type of technique and like exercise, is by picking two pictures I really like in the front, or even just like getting two similar size squares and then cutting them together. So not knowing what pictures are behind, but then kind of seeing how they'll form that way. Also could try with one that's completely black and white and one that's a really bright color, or two contrasting or complementary colors. But yeah, or even again having, this one was similar, that we had like the sky and then people in the front area here, like the foreground, but again, I think because they were such different, they're similar scales, but they're so differently proportioned in the photos, you really can only see like one, I can see one photo clearly, and that's the one that's like the one with the green tree and the dirt at the bottom. But I wonder actually, so I did want this cut in front, but I don't think I'm gonna like take my time and cut it out completely proper. What I'm gonna do, and this is a little trick I like to do, is just because I'll cut this out like too perfectly, like around the shoe and the leg, and cut it really close, but I just want to see if it would be worth it for my time to do that now and put it over the piece, or it needs another picture in the front. But I'm gonna cut these out just loosely, so I still have room to do that that cut afterwards, like to cut really close, which I still, again, if this is the picture I want to do, I'll do that later to attach it on. But this is a nice way to kind of dry fit it and see if I'll like how it looks. This is also why I like having little scissors, because I can just put them anywhere. They'll always be within reach. But yeah, so we have that, and then we have with this, which actually, you know what, it is kind of cool having those two there. Maybe we'd have to cover up our little person there so he's like not as noticeable or ruining the scale, but having those two kind of jumping over does make it look different and cool, and kind of gives yourself a focus. Maybe this again would actually work if there's like these really psychedelic colors or something going through the background, like a green and like a purple, or a green and like a bright yellow or pink. That could be cool too. But this is essentially how that technique of weaving the papers together would work. So that's that. Hello, flip myself. Ooh, that's my chin. Hi. Ooh. All right. We're sitting up today rather than being on the floor, because that hurt my knees last time, and I don't think I could cut properly if I was at a different level. But there we have it. I have the little people that I'll move off. I'm contemplating, I think I will cut these folks out, or like a animal, a bird, something to go on this background. But I do like that technique. I think it is interesting. You can see from far away almost looks like this optical illusion, but I think that the paper weaving technique is cool. I've done it before with just like colored papers to make like a different pattern or something that way, which is awesome too, and you can do that. But I've never done it with having like a wavy paper, so this was a new technique for me. Definitely key things to take from it: take your time when you're doing it so you don't have too many gaps, but also the gaps could be part of it. Maybe you could do something where you just actually have two black and white images, but they're different, of course, because you're getting them out of a magazine, but you have two black and white images and actually space them out so you do get these squares in between each wavy piece, and then you can put it on colored paper or something. That could be really cool, or like paint the background and then put it on top. So many possibilities to do with this. If you did follow along though, please send us photos. I'm going to be posting my finished photo of this in the Artbeat Creative Community group. That's just here on Facebook. And yeah, I'll post I didn't post him yet, but I'll post our Shrek friend there too. But there we are. Thank you all so much for joining today. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. It's a long weekend, so we'll be back in the studio on Tuesday. But here you are. Keep doing some art this weekend too, and keep sharing it with each other. And like I said again, times like this where, you know, we're all kind of cooped up and here at home, can be hard on your mental health. So I like keeping my hands busy, whether that be cutting a meticulous collage or stitching together a felt Shrek, or picking up a new hobby like trying to learn how to knit and making dishcloths and such. So try something like that this weekend, and just check in on any of your friends or family you may know that may not have internet access or people to gather around. check in on them just so you know we're all in this here together. I might go for a walk later on if I don't get blown with snow in the face. We'll see. You're welcome, Kevin. Thanks for joining me today. Have a happy day. Bye-bye.